Hey guys, thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Chris. They just released the trailer for Happy Death Day to You, and I want to talk about it. If you don't know my thoughts on Happy Death Day, I'll link my review in the description, but I encourage you not to check it out. It was a while back. I was just beginning. Give me a break. But just a quick summarize, I didn't love the film as much as some people did. I'm not a big fan of horror comedy. I just think those two elements don't really mix well unless it's in parody form like the first 3 scary movies. So I was expecting a horror mystery with the first one and it turned into a comedy. It's kind of soured me on it. But now that I know what to expect going into the second one, I'm trying to let myself get a little loose and be more excited for it because hey, who doesn't love a good slasher film where you have to figure out who the killer is? So let's go into breaking down this trailer, guys, and if you have not watched it, I encourage you to check it out because I will be pausing and breaking in between, so it'll be kind of annoying to watch this trailer for the first time.
Dude, I am tripping right now. I feel like I've totally lived through this day already.
Deja vu?
Yes.
The day reset when you died, right?
Yeah.
I might be able to help with that. I died 11 times.
So right off the bat, this scene right here is from the very first movie. It's going to take place as soon as the first one ended. If you don't remember, the first one ended with them getting together on the bed kissing and the camera panning up to a poster reading something about live each day as if it were your last. I guess the thing they're going to do a little differently is the friends are also going to be reliving the same day along with Tree. And yes, that is the name of the main character if you don't remember. Tree. Also on the part where she said she died 11 times, I could have sworn she died way more times than that in the first film, but I went back and checked and yeah, it was 11 times. Kind of hard to tell with all those montages, but it rounded up to 11 times.
I was stuck reliving the same day over and over again until someone wearing a baby mask murdered me on the night of my birthday. Turns out it was my roommate Lori. I kicked her crazy ass out a window and killed her, which broke the loop. But now I'm living the better version of my life.
Yeah, I really hope you weren't planning on watching the first film and being excited for the second one to come out because this trailer just ruined the first film for you. It was her roommate who turned out to be the killer in the first film. She wants to kill Tree because in the first movie, she is having an affair with her professor. At the same time, her roommate is also sleeping with the professor, and so out of a jealous rage, she goes and kills her.
You okay?
No.
Oh, hey, you're up. I folded your pants for you.
No way.
Dude, did you hit that or what?
I don't believe this. It's Monday the 18th again.
Go,
Stop global warming.
go, go, go,
Today, today.
go, shorty. It's your birthday.
So it looks like that's the first time she's gonna get killed in this movie, bringing her back to September 18th. Now, there were reports earlier in the year that this movie was gonna take place 2 years later, that we get to see what her life is like outside of college, her being married to her love interest from the first movie, and then the killer comes back and brings her all the way back to September 18th. But from this trailer, we don't really get to see her anything else but in this outfit, except for another part of the trailer that you perverts will love.
God, it ended the loop, but I'm back. Oh my God. Everything's different. This time, it's coming after all of us.
If you don't reset the day and try again, they're dead for good, aren't they?
So I'm gonna have to die over and over again to save all of you.
I mean, I guess you could just reset the day yourself.
Genius idea.
And from that little snippet, it confirms that her friends are also going to be reliving the same day with her. And from this shot right here, she goes, I assume, to her roommate, who she already knows is the killer, but finds her to be already dead. So I guess it's going to reveal to us that it's not going to be the same killer from the first movie. It is going to be someone entirely different. Now, one interesting thing that you might want to think about is, remember in the first film, there was a serial killer being held at the hospital. Now, Lori, the roommate, was going to set the criminal free and frame him for the murder of Tree. We also get her trying to figure out the rules of this whole new setting, being that there are more people involved. Does it reset when her friends die? Does it only reset when she died? It is said from the details of the synopsis that we're actually going to delve into why she's reliving the same day over and over again. Get into the origins of why that's happening.
Okay, let's do this.
They like me, I want them to love me like they love pop.
If I don't stop the killer, more people will die. Failure's not an option.
And like I mentioned, that part you perverts were gonna love. She jumps out of a plane just wearing her undies. This looks like it's gonna be part of a montage just like we got in the first film where she just goes through a bunch of crazy stuff just because, hey, if she's gotta relive the same day over and over, why not try some things that you've always wanted to do? And she's most likely killing herself because there's no parachute, and unless she sprouts angel wings, I don't think she's gonna survive. Another important thing to notice here is she seems pretty concerned and upset that her roommate Laurie just died in front of her. And this is kind of weird to us who saw the first movie because she despises Laurie after finding out that she was trying to kill her. So maybe we find out that she wasn't the killer in the first movie. Maybe she was being set up, maybe someone forced her to do it. Whatever it is looks like Tree is pretty upset to see Laurie die.
Focus, man. My money on my mind. Got a meal out the deal and I'm still in the grind. Now, shorty says,
I literally died to figure this out.
a girl from Wooded, they buy and they ready to.
We get to see that she's rounding about with her friends and they're trying to solve why it's happening, who the killer is, how they can stop it. But she says something pretty interesting. It's kind of hard to hear with that awesome 50 Cent song in the background, but she either says, I literally died to figure this out, or I literally have to die to figure this out.
Oh, hey, you're up.
I'm so done.
My flow, my show, world needed.
Just like we got from Groundhog's Day, another movie where you just relive the same day over and over, there was a fan who deduced that the movie actually took place thousands and thousands of years, and that's how long he was reliving that same day. Could it be that them building that machine that we see later on in the trailer is something that they built and figured out from just living the same day over and over, becoming geniuses and stuff like that? It's things like this that made me not that excited about this movie and just more comedic. I prefer the horror aspect of it, but the comedy stuff and all that, it doesn't blend well with me. But I think that's what they're doing here, and that machine is most likely their solution or the actual cause of what is going on for them reliving the same day over and over.
I am on borrowed time here.
All my fancy things. What the? My crib, my car, my clothes, my
Alright, let's see what you got.
game up and I ain't changed.
We're in crisis mode, Tree. Who's gonna pledge Kappa now that we have a death curse?
Another big important part here is we see one of the characters, the roommate of Craig, the boyfriend and love interest from the first movie, he meets eye to eye with himself. And I think they should not have included this in the trailer because I think this basically spoils who the killer is. You heard it here first. I encourage you, if I am wrong, to come back after the movie is out and then just bash me out for this. But I guarantee you now, after watching that and seeing what they're kind of going for, because one of the producers of this movie mentioned that they're trying to go for a Back to the Future vibe with this movie. And we all know in the second Back to the Future, Marty sort of gets to meet eye to eye with himself or be in the same room as himself. So I'm actually going to go out on a limb here and say that the killer is Tree herself. My theory on that being is another hint that we get in the trailer. She says, I'm living the best version of my life. Well, that's what she thinks right there. And if she hasn't lived past that day where she was murdered, she doesn't know the ripple effect of what happened when she changed her future. So maybe her future self realizes that she really effed up her future and it was happy short term, but long term, it gets real messed up. But I could be honestly completely wrong about that and I wouldn't be surprised, but I do want to hint at maybe who else it could be. Now, when they screened the film originally, they had a different ending to it. At the end, it was still Laurie who tried to poison Tree and kill her for sleeping with the professor. But then that movie was going to end with Tree in the hospital being treated for all her injuries in the fight she had with Laurie, and then a nurse coming in to give her some sleep aid. And Tree was supposed to say, oh no, it's okay, the doctor said I don't need any. And it was going to turn out to be the wife of the professor she was having an affair with, and the movie was going to end that way, her dying and having to relive the day again. Not just that, but rough drafts of the original script before it went to production had Laurie and the professor be the killer, so it was going to have two killers involved. So to me, the producers of it really want this professor involved somehow, so I wouldn't be surprised if the professor she was having an affair with in the first movie somehow is involved with the murder. But I mean, if it's not that, and if it's not technology based with that little machine that they have, the last line of the trailer mentions that they don't need a curse for the sorority, so maybe is it an ancient curse? Did they find some sort of Evil Dead book? I think it'd be pretty interesting to find out what is causing it, what are the rules of it, and how this could expand, because you know they want to make more of it. So that was just my opinion on the Happy Death Day to you guys. Let me know what you thought about this trailer if you got around to watching it. What are your theories, and who do you think the killer will be? I'm telling you, my money is on Tree herself being the killer. Be sure to like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at 3C Film Review. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.